All right, let's talk about reclaiming your energy. And I'm not talking about just a few little sleep hacks. We're going to build a real system for feeling awake and alive using 3 powerful frameworks from some of the sharpest minds out there.
Does this question hit a little too close to home? You know, that feeling of just being drained? We keep reaching for another coffee, thinking we just need more sleep. But the real solution? It's probably not what you think. It's less about forcing more hours of sleep and way more about how you manage your entire day.
So here's our game plan. We're not just going to give you a random list of tips. Instead, we're pulling from 3 totally different experts, a neuroscientist, a mystic, and some brilliant science communicators to build a truly holistic approach that you can actually start using today.
Okay, let's dive right into our first big idea, your biological morning switch. We're looking at this through the lens of neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman, and it's all about setting your body's master clock the second you wake up.
Huberman is crystal clear on this. He says there's one single activity you can do every morning that is, without a doubt, the most powerful tool for wakefulness. And no, it's not grabbing your phone, and it's not that first cup of coffee. It's light, specifically sunlight.
Now check this out, because this is where it gets really interesting. Your phone screen is nowhere near bright enough to trigger that healthy cortisol spike you need to feel alert in the morning. But here's the crazy part. That same phone screen is bright enough to mess with your body clock and ruin your sleep if you look at it late at night. Sunlight is the only thing that gets the job done right in the morning.
So how do you actually do this? Well, Huberman's protocol is super simple and super clear. You've got to get outside within an hour of waking up. And this is key. No sunglasses. You need that light to hit the receptors in your eyes. And nope, looking through a window doesn't count. It filters out too much of the good stuff. And you might be thinking, well, what if it's cloudy or raining? No problem. Even on the most overcast days, the specific photons your brain needs are still breaking through the clouds. You just need to stay out a little longer to get the full effect. So really, there are no excuses.
All right, we've set our biological clock. Now let's completely shift gears for our second framework. This one comes from the mystic and yogi Sadhguru, and it's all about the power of conscious rest. This idea might just change how you think about sleep altogether.
He asks this powerful question: what if we're all chasing the wrong thing? He suggests that your body doesn't actually demand sleep, it demands rest. See, sleep is just one heavy-duty form of rest. But what if you could be restful, even while you're busy and active during the day?
And this brings us to this amazing concept he calls ease. Think about it. So much of what we do with friction, with tension. Ease is the opposite. It's a state of being where your system is relaxed, even when you're working. And when you can do things with ease, your body is constantly resting, which means your need for that deep, unconscious sleep naturally goes down. It all comes down to this simple energy equation. When you're stressed and tense, your energy consumption is through the roof and you feel exhausted. But by cultivating a state of ease, you dramatically lower that consumption. You start to feel more energized, not because you're producing more, but because you're wasting less.
And really, his whole message boils down to this. Stop obsessing over the hours you spend asleep and start focusing on the quality of the hours you spend awake. If you can live your day-to-day life with less friction and more ease, good sleep will just happen. It becomes a natural consequence, not something you have to chase.
Okay, so we've got our biological anchor from Huberman, and we have this new mindset of ease from Sadhguru. So now what? Well, now we need the practical, everyday tools to support this new system.
And that brings us to our third and final lens, a practical, science-backed toolkit from the folks at ASAP Science. Think of these as the specific habits you can layer on top of our first 2 big ideas.
So let's start right at the beginning of the day. That snooze button. I know, we all love it, but it's gotta go. Hitting snooze basically tells your brain, false alarm, go back to sleep, only to be violently ripped out of that sleep cycle 9 minutes later. It's a recipe for grogginess. Instead, try a gentler, melodic alarm and get your body moving for just 30 seconds right away.
All right, coffee drinkers, this one's for you. Many of us see that afternoon coffee as a lifesaver, but its timing is absolutely critical if you want to project that state of ease we're trying to build.
And here is the magic number you have to burn into your brain. 6 hours. Caffeine has a half-life of about 6 hours.
And this is exactly why that number is so important. If you have a coffee at 6 p.m., that means at midnight, right when you should be in deep restorative sleep, half of that caffeine is still buzzing around in your system. Even crazier, a quarter of it is still there when you wake up at 6 a.m. It absolutely sabotages your sleep quality.
Now, let's talk about napping, because if you do it right, it's a superpower. But if you do it wrong, you feel even worse than before. The key is timing. Keep it to a 20 or 30-minute power nap to get the benefits without falling into a deep sleep trap. If you need more rest, then go for a full 90-minute cycle so you wake up feeling refreshed, not groggy.
And to round out our toolkit, here are a few more heavy hitters. Exercise is a long-term game changer for sleep quality. Alcohol might feel like it helps you fall asleep, but it absolutely destroys your REM sleep. And a warm bath followed by a cool, dark room is a 1-2 punch that signals to your body that it's time to power down.
So, we've got biology from a neuroscientist, philosophy from a mystic, and a practical toolkit from science communicators. That's a lot, right? So how in the world do we pull all of this together into a system that actually works in real life?
Well, it's actually a pretty simple 3-layered strategy. Step 1. Anchor your entire day with that morning sunlight. That is your biological foundation. It's non-negotiable. Step 2. Adopt the mindset of cultivating ease. Focus on how you live your waking hours. And step 3, support that foundation and mindset with the smart daily habits from our toolkit. The alarms, the caffeine timing, the naps.
But you know, after looking at all this research, there is one single practice that stands above everything else, the true foundation for it all. And it's